That's right, we're all mad here. Welcome to my video. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. If you are new, I'm glad you found me. Hopefully we're going to have lots of fun here together. There are kids playing in the field behind me, so it may get a little noisy. I don't know. I wanted to be outside because it's a glorious day, as you can see, and I just don't remember to come out here to film that often, and I'm just going to do it with the kid noises and all, because I don't know when they're going to leave. They've been out here for at least an hour or more, so I just don't anticipate them being gone. So we're just going to proceed anyway. Let's see. Today, glorious, lovely day. It's been a hot summer, which a lot of us have been putting up with up here in the northern hemisphere. I don't know if we're going to get a lot of really hot weather anymore this year. I think we're kind of done with the super hot, but you know, you just never know. So if we're in the 80s, then that wouldn't surprise me. Maybe creep into the 90s, but I don't think we're going to get higher than that for the rest of this summer. If you see fluttering behind me, that's part of my bell. It's the wind is what kind of blows that part around and makes a lovely tinkling sound, but I know a lot of you probably don't want to hear it while I'm video recording, and it would just kind of get on people's nerves. So I have stuffed a little bit of paper towel up in there so it won't make noise. But I love my bell. It's gorgeous. It's from Japan. It's cast iron. It's lovely. The hanger is awesome. The hook that holds onto the tree is like a monkey hanging. It's so cool. I've been doing a ton of stuff outside. Work, office work that I used to go to has not really picked up, so I have not been working away from home. Let's just put it that way. Maybe 2 or 3 days this summer since I came back from StitchCon. It's just been really slow there, so they don't really need me right now, which is fine. I'm flexible enough that if they need me, then I can come in and work. So that has lent a lot of time to be able to get stuff done around here. I am really close to finishing part of what I've been working on out here this year that I'll be able to show you very soon. Hopefully in the next video I'll be able to give you a little photo montage of the progress of what I did and what I'm working on, because I've kind of given hints to some stitchy friends, and they're like, I can't wait to see it, and talking about kind of all the work I've been doing. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work, a lot of heavy work. And that's not the only thing that I've been doing this one project. I've done lots of other stuff, and I think I've talked about it over the summer in videos of, you know, I got gravel and I had to spread that around, which I don't get every year, so that was something extra. I usually get bark dust every year, so of course I did do that. I've been moving other things kind of in different positions to get them out of the way, and they were heavy. I worked so hard, in fact, that I broke my wheelbarrow. And if I remember, I will insert a picture here of what it looks like now. So as you can see, the handle came off, one of them. It was an older wheelbarrow. I got that thing, I don't know, probably 20 years ago at a garage sale for $3, and I loved it. It's not deep. It's kind of a shallow wheelbarrow, but that way if you put a lot of heavy stuff in, you're not putting too much heavy stuff in that you can't move the thing. But it is all metal, and so eventually those metal handles, where it bolts in to the body of the wheelbarrow, just got enough movement of up and down that it eventually just snapped it. Oh, I just couldn't believe it. And it was a time when I was trying to move some gravel. I had a little bit extra and I was moving it out from where they had dumped it out by the street, and I needed to get it out of the way, and it's like, oh, this is the worst time for this to break. And then I found out just how expensive wheelbarrows are, which are ridiculous. Ridiculous. You're really lucky if you can find one for under $100. So I need to get a new wheelbarrow. I'm making do with either carrying stuff in other fashions, or that wheelbarrow actually works. I can use the handle on one side and hold the body of it with my other hand and just kind of lean over a little bit as I push it. And it works for what I, the bits that I am still needing to move for this summer. I do intend to get one. It's just, for one thing, the wheelbarrows are generally put together, and they prefer, at least when I went to Home Depot, they prefer you to take a wheelbarrow that's already put together. I don't know why, but that's what the checkout gal said. Because I can't, the shallow ones are they're even more expensive than the deep ones. Because I don't want to pay for a shallow one, not the kind of money they're asking for. I don't know that the deep one will fit in my car. I can get a lot of stuff in my car, a ton of stuff in my car, but I think it's just too big, awkward kind of sizing. Potentially I could get most of it in and get the hatchback almost closed and then tie it down if I wanted to. I could do that, yeah. But it's not been something I've been trying to rush out and get right away. So that's kind of how that stands. So yeah, lots of work. And I try not to do outside work when it's blazingly hot. Either I get out here really early in the morning, or I do it on a day when it's not going to be too bad. And I take lots of breaks, because I've learned if I want to continue as long as I can for the day, you just got to take those breaks and, slow and steady like the turtle. Okay, that works for me. I get lots done, but it's just, little increments of time. Okay, so let's move on from that, because I know you're here more for the stitching stuff than for the other things. I just like to put in life updates as well, and I've got a couple others coming up I'll talk about later in the video, so that we're not cramming them all right here. So we'll get on to that now. I worked on primarily, I think, 4 different projects in this last month. I think I put my hands on one other, that beach one. It says on beach time. I did just a tiny little bit of that, so I'm not going to show that work. So I'll just show you the stuff that I have worked on. I don't think I have any befores except for my Haid. Most of the stuff, I don't remember to take those before pictures, and so, yeah, we'll just not worry about it. So let's get into some of that. Let's start, and I've just left everything in my bags because I dragged everything out here. I'm going to start with this. So it says Ice Castles. This is the Shannon Christine. I think I am doing the called for size, which I believe is 28 count. I could look in here. I think I got the tag. The reason I stuck with the exact called for size is because you have to put beads, and if you have a different count size, the beads aren't going to look right on there. They're not going to fit in the right spots in the right ways. So you kind of have to have the right size fabric for it. So I did that, and we will show you how much I got done. I think I need my paper behind here. I'm not sure though. So I've gotten quite a bit done. That's the main spire in the center. You can see I've already got one here. The others aren't really any taller than this. They kind of just come across here. And then there's a whole bunch of more of the castle and more spires and all that. I don't know if you can see it on here or not. There are gaps where there aren't any stitches in here because that's where the beads are going to go. And also there's supposed to be cross hatching all across these bluish spires, not the silver ones, because as you can, I don't know how much you can tell, that's Krynick, that's silver Krynick in there, so those won't have it. So as you can see, it's got those cross hatches on top of those spires, so I will still have to do those. I think I'm going to do those sometimes I don't like doing long stitches when I have to outline things, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute on another project I worked on. But this is a little bit different. This is giving a little bit more design, not necessarily outline, but design for the actual thing. So we'll see. I've got a long ways to go before I get to that point. But yeah, there it is. It's lovely. I love those colors. Those are so pretty. I mean, green is my favorite color, but I like blues as well. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, let's see what the next project is, and I'm going to pull out. Okay, so this is the one that I was referring to with the long stitches. So here's this. It's so pretty. Again, those colors. You can see I like those colors. So this is Moraine Lake. In case you didn't know, it's in Canada. It's one of those Russian, I believe, kits. It came as a kit. So I did use everything in there, even though it's like a 14 count Aida. It is full coverage. It's not going to be seen, so it doesn't really matter. What I'm finding with this kit, which I'm kind of surprised at because I've had other Russian pieces before, patterns, is this floss is not very good. It's kind of rough. It's just not smooth, as smooth as I would prefer. So, well, I paused the video for a second because I thought he was going to start his chainsaw, I believe, or something over there. Anyway, so I love this pattern, and I'm going to keep using the floss and such, but it's just not quite up to snuff as what I would like. And what I have worked on so far, I'll get my threads out of the way so you can see it. What's this? I worked on this a lot. A lot. So I had very little of these rocks down here done last month. So I have finished all of that. I've added in a little bit more of the coloring in the lake. But yeah, it is lovely. So, I don't know. We'll see if you can tell. In the rocks, there is some outlining and some long stitches to define those. I don't think I'm going to do those. Most of it's long stitching just to kind of divide up the rocks a little bit better. Not complete outlining, but there's some. But the way it is, I like it. It's a little bit more of that artsy, sorry if the chainsaw or whatever that is loud. It's a little more muted, blended in. I like it that way. I mean, I can tell the difference in the rocks, and it's just fine. So I think it's going to detract from it if I put it in. I just don't really want to do that. Sometimes it makes it look off when you put those in there. And just looking at the picture kind of feels that way to me, and I just don't really want to add that in there. I just like the way it is. So there's number 2 that I worked on. Let me put this back in here so I don't lose anything, especially since I'm outside. I don't need it getting dirty. Project number 3 is the, let me see if I've got the cover for it so you can see. You've seen this before, I've showed you. The butterfly temperature chart by Stitching Mommy. Okay, so I worked more on that. I'm pretty much caught up as to the days. I don't think I put yesterday's in the color coding, but everything else for this month is caught up. I believe, well, I'll show you what it looks like here and then maybe I'll take it out. So there's August and July. There are some butterflies I'm going to add in here, the little teeny tiny ones like this, because I went on a trip and I'm going to add those in. I'm not sure where I want to put them because I need to see where everything else is situated so it looks nice, kind of balanced, as balanced as I can get it. I realize, you know, you can't help what month you went somewhere, but I need to open this up and see where all the other little ones are and see if that makes a difference for where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to take it off the Q-snap and I'm going to pause you while I do that. Okay, this thing's going to be too big for me to put something behind it, so if it's a little hard to see with the sunlight, then that's just the way it's going to be. So here it is. Lovely. You can see it's been pretty orange and red in July and August so far. A little bit in June. But as you can see where all the little butterflies are, I kind of want to see how I want to design that. So I'm probably going to, I don't know, because it was July, but I might kind of go this way a little bit just because of how the others are. I don't know. I might go the other way and make it look like they're all kind of flying from the same direction and going the same direction. So basically from this corner off to this corner. So maybe keep it so that they are coming more from this side and wrapping up like that. Because this, I mean, that's when it would have happened. It would have been the end of July. So I might end up doing that. But that's why I say I've got to see the full picture to kind of decide. So there it is. Lovely. So as we're talking about things I worked on, there is one other thing I did work on a little bit that I forgot, so it would have made more like, sorry, I disappeared here. It would have made more like 5 things I stitch on, because it's a finish. It's not an FFO because I'm trying to find the piece I want to put it on. I think I kind of got an idea. I just don't have it yet. I don't have that item that I'm going to use. So let's get to that. And that would be my StitchCon piece. And here it is. I'm going to fold this sides in a little bit, make it not so big. So there it is. It's so great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I did make some changes. Most of these I talked about the last time that I showed you. So instead of putting kind of a border up here with the date in the middle, I put it all the way here. I'm not going to put the border in. I may put something a little bit in, but I'm saving this for hopefully future years to put dates in there. The other thing is I did not put the cat 310 in here with the ball of yarn. I put in the names of my table mates. I think that's the only changes I made for the most part. So yeah, I think it turned out lovely. But what I'm going to have to do when I finish this is the item that I end up using, I'm thinking it's going to be more of a flat fold finish, and I'll just lace the back of it, because then I can put like a magnet on it and a magnet on whatever I'm using, and it can just be magnetized to it, and that way I can take it off. I can snip all of this lacing, add in future dates, lace it back up, and it's ready to be displayed again. I think that's what I'm doing. I just don't, I've got to find the piece that it will be attached to is the thing. But yeah, it's really cool. I really, really like how it turned out. And if you are into StitchCon or kind of have followed things, you know that they've already announced the dates for next year, as well as when you can sign up, which is like the 7th of September. I don't remember the date. I put it on my calendar so that I'm going to be in there. What shocked me in their announcement of all that is what happened for this year, or basically when you signed up last year for this year, is that they had to close the registration after 2.5 hours because they had 950 people already. Whoa! I couldn't believe that. I mean, I knew people liked coming and they liked everything, but it's like, wow, that's so many people. So it will be great if I can get in, or, you know, my table mates have already, you know, we've already marked it on our calendar to try and get signed up and go to the same weekend and everything. And it's gonna be so much fun if we could go. I know I've said this on the other video, but we had such a great connection with each other. And I know that that's rare because I have been to just like normal meetups, just, you know, in the, you know, the community, not like I'm flying somewhere for a retreat. I've also been to a one-day retreat. Um, I have never had this kind of connection, and I know not everybody does. They don't blend with their table mates always. They may have a good time and they're friends with them to a certain degree, but our group has been incredible. As soon as we got back, somebody started a group email chat, or not email, texting chat, and we text almost every day. Something usually gets discussed. There's, occasionally it's like nothing is talked about in a day, but we're talking almost every day. We've already we're in the process of planning a meetup in March to get together, our own personal little retreat kind of thing at somebody's house for a weekend. I'm the farthest away. Everybody else lives in the Midwest, and I live on the West Coast. So I am the farthest away. So a lot of them can probably drive. I mean, I know it's a little bit of a drive for some of them, but they can probably drive. I cannot. I'm not going to drive for 3 days to come to this. So I have to be able to make sure make plans to fly and get that reserved as soon as possible so that I can get there. But yeah, we have this incredible connection that just doesn't happen. I am so blessed to have been part of this little group that we are part of. I love y'all. Love y'all. Nora, Pam, Vicky, Linda, Jody. I love y'all. Y'all are great. Okay, I am going to get into, I'll tell you about one of the things that I did, maybe both of the things that I did recently. So a couple weeks ago, I went camping. I think I mentioned that in the last video that it was coming up. This is our church. Each family, the church organizes it and they call in and make the reservations, but each family has their own site at this really big campground on the coast. So we're all there at the same time. We go on Tuesday, come back on Saturday kind of thing. So we're there for a good long time, which is nice because if you're going there and you're having to set up all your stuff, you do not want to take it down too fast. It takes too long to set things up. Plus you want to have enough time to do all the things. So yeah, that's why we go that long. So it was gorgeous. We bumped it up a week because normally we go that first week in August. We bumped it up to the last week of July because we have always gotten rained on. This is, I think, the 4th year that we've done this, and the last 3 years there's always been some kind of rain. It's just not conducive. I don't know what it is. If August is just a rainy time at the coast or what. We had great weather. The first night it had the finest mist that was coming down, but it was enough and it did it long enough that it accumulate overnight. But that was really about it. That was really the only time that we had bad weather. So I was able to get out. It did take a while for it to clear up in the morning. It would be overcast, not raining, just overcast and cloudy, so it was a little more chilly. And it would not, like 12, 1 o'clock before it would clear up. The other thing is, it was blazingly hot here in the metro area. So the Portland metro, I kind of consider us the metro area, even though we're pretty far out. So hot. We're talking upper 90s, 100, 102, I don't know. It was hot here. It was 30 to 35 degrees cooler at the coast. It was fabulous. Oh, so nice. So, one of the ladies that their family used to live over there on the coast, she said that whenever Portland gets really hot like this, it pulls in the clouds at the coast. It just kind of sucks them in and that's why you get more of the clouds. So in the morning it's cloudy. And one day I know it's crazy, you're at the beach. So we are not right on the beach. We are It's probably a quarter of a mile in, maybe a half a mile in from the actual sand and water and everything. So you don't hear it from the campground. In fact, there's a pretty nice lake uh, right by the camp that's part of the campground that separates you from the beach as well. So you got that, and then you go a little bit over some hills, and then you finally get to the beach. So I hadn't gone down to the beach yet. And so Thursday night, I thought, you know what? It was after dinner. I had already cooked everything, didn't really need to do anything. It was kind of like this here. The weather was nice, maybe just a few little clouds. I thought, you know what? I need to get to the beach just in case the next day, which would have been the last day. I mean, we left on Saturday, but you're busy packing up. So in case Friday was nasty for some reason, I need to get to the beach and be able to enjoy that. So I took off after dinner, so we're talking 6-ish, and went over to the beach. It was so foggy that standing up on the sand on the little hill before you go down it to get to the beach, I could hardly see the water. It was that foggy. And yet over at the campsite, quarter of a mile, half a mile away, it was just like this. It was insane. I could not believe the difference. We tried to go, my husband and our friends, our Friday night date night friends, we tried to go. They came up Friday to just spend and visit and whatnot. And we went over to the beach again, and it wasn't as bad, but it was still cloudy. So I know there were some times when it was more sunny in the middle of the day there, but it's hard to tell because it's nice at the campground. You can't tell what it's like at the beach. And so you're trying to figure out what you're going to do, whether you're going on a bike ride, kayaking, go to the beach, go into town. It's a hit or miss kind of thing. You just don't know. You just don't know. So it was lovely, absolutely lovely. On Friday, because I was waiting for the weather to clear up, and I kind of had thought about doing this anyways at some point. I just wasn't sure when. I wanted to go back to an antique store into, because the campground it's kind of south and west of Astoria, Oregon. I know a lot of people think Astoria is the very, very northwest tip of Oregon, but it's kind of actually in just a little bit. This campground actually sits on that point that makes up the northwest farthest part of Oregon, where the jetty is for the Columbia River. So it's just in from that. So I went into Astoria to this little antique store that I had found last year, and I loved it. There's a lot of antiques, but there's some new stuff too, kind of a mix. It's just this cute little store. So I thought, I want to look. I can't get that much because my car is packed. And if I remember, I will, and it works out, I'll put a video in here and show you kind of what my car looked like after I was done loading it. It's this tiny little Fiat, and it's got, kayak on it. It's got another little roof rack that's holding stuff in it. I got a bike rack on the back, and it's crammed full inside. So I can't bring a lot back. But while I was there, I found a couple of things that I absolutely just loved getting. So I'm going to show you a couple of those. So one of them was this beautiful frame, and I'm going to show you kind of some of the detail up a little more close. So it's just this lovely, it's pretty thick, but I mean, you can see it's this lovely frame. I'm actually going to use it for that castle. I measured, and it's like 1 inch on each side, pretty close to that. So it's going to fit in here perfectly, and it's the detail of it seems like it would go well with that. So that's my first find. The other thing I found that I don't know if it's authentic or not. If it is, they have reframed it and everything, so that's why I can't tell. The reason I first got it was, yeah, I like the stitching because it is a stitch piece, but I love the frame, and I thought, well, you know, if I don't want to keep the stitching, I'm going to use that frame. Here it is. Isn't this great? Because it's got this base that it sits on. So it just sits on the table. I don't have to hang it on the wall. But you can see it's a sampler. It says Emily Hope Smith, 1826, which is just slightly older than our house is, actually. I just can't tell. I'm just not 100% sure if it's actually authentic or not. It could be something somebody stitched as a reproduction, even a little kid. I have no idea. But you can see it's been reframed because this is all new. This part is completely new. So I am going to keep it just like it is. I'm not going to reuse the frame because I like this. And where I put it, it goes very nicely with a bunch of other stuff. It just fits in really, really nice with that. So, and to top it off, this thing was only $17. The frame is worth more than that. I love this thing. It is awesome. So that was my other find. Then, let's see, what else was there? Oh, yeah, I did bring it. I couldn't remember if I brought my other little thing. This is not an antique, and I think it's so appropriate. All I need today is a little bit of coffee and a whole lot of Jesus. Amen to that, man. I'm telling you. So that's really cute. That will go in my kitchen with a bunch of my other coffee things. I showed you that. One of my little signs in the last video, that was the thumbnail for it. Yeah, you can do some really stupid things if you've got enough caffeine from coffee. So we'll talk about one other thing, and then I'll get into some stitching stuff. Yesterday, I went on a bike ride. I've learned that in the last 2 or 3 years that I keep saying, I really want to get out on my bike more, or I really want to use my kayak more, and then I never do because I am busy doing landscaping stuff or busy doing stuff inside the house or whatever it is, and I just don't end up doing it. I don't have the time to do it. So I've learned that I just have to put it on the calendar and say, this is when I'm going to go do it. And just do it, because I can always find an excuse not to go because I've got a lot to do. So I did that. I finally put it on my calendar, and I went yesterday. There's a new, it's about a half an hour north of here. It's a new park. It's a nature park, and it's called Chehalem Ridge Park. The name Ridge should give you a clue about this. Yeah, it was interesting. I didn't know what I was getting in for. I'd never been there. So, yeah, took my bike up there and did it. It was great, though. I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, it was hard. It was very hard. But, I mean, there's a lot of uphill, and I learned that, and I've got some other video of stuff while I'm there, and then there's a map, that there was one road. It was a gravel road that went up and down the hills, and I think in one of the little clips I made, it was for trucks and whatever for the rangers. That was the worst part of the trails to go on because it was ridiculous. If you got off on all these little smaller side trails, which you were allowed to have your bike on those, most of them, there was uphill, but the grade was so much easier. I could stay on my bike. If I was in first gear, I could stay on my bike the whole time and not have to get off. Now, I know not everybody would, but I could. So they were much nicer, much better to be on than that stupid road. So I would love to go back there, even though it was hard. I really enjoyed it. And the part that I really enjoyed the most was the coming down on those smaller trails, because you basically just like, I would stand on my pedals, so I wasn't on my seat, because it makes it a little bit easier to do things when you're going fast like that. But I literally would down these hills. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. In fact, there was one path that did that was dirt. The other part that I was on that was downhill was gravel, really fine crushed gravel. And you have to be much more careful on gravel because your tires will skid out from under you on that stuff than the dirt. So the dirt path, which was more fun than the gravel, I'll tell you right now, because it had a lot more of the dips and the curves and stuff in it. I would definitely take my bike up there to that path, and I can't remember if it was a mile or whatever, come down it and turn around and go back up it again just so I could come down that part again. It was that much fun. So I might try and go back again this summer and do that park again. And I will show you some video of some of the trails and whatnot that I have taken for that. So we'll put that in here now. Well, I'm about to start the ride. I've never been here before, so I don't know what this trail is going to be like. You can kind of see the map behind me, I believe, over here. Yeah, it was quite the adventure just getting to this place. Eventually the road turned to gravel. It is up on a ridge, so it is up kind of high, so I don't know how much the trails are going to drop down as you bike around or walk around and whatnot. So we shall see. Well, I've come to my first major hill. You can see how steep this sucker is. There's no way I'm going to be able to ride up this. It'll be interesting to see what the rest of the trail is going to be like. Some of it's rather lovely. Some of it's darn near pretty. And some of it is really pretty. Valley, looking down towards Forest Grove, Hillsboro area. And then there's other pretty views like this. This is looking down, I believe, west towards the little town of Gaston. Here is the map of where I went. So this is where you park and start off from. I went in a lot of this area here. I did not do any of this down in here. I have no idea what that's like. But if you can see, it's got these little lines that tells you the terrain. And so it just keeps getting either going up or down for each of those lines. Which is probably down because I think we are at the top when we start. So as I mentioned, there's a road, which is this one right here. This, I don't know if you can tell, it's a brown. It's this timber road. It ends right here. There is a gate, so I think employees can go past that gate. That's what that's for. So I started on the road because I, not knowing, but started on the road. And I saw these, and I thought, oh, they must want you to go one way. There's arrows pointing that way. And you can see there's a key down here, and it's got these different lines and whatnot, so it tells you, you know, the timber road, all abilities and ages, just hiking versus hiking, biking, and equestrian. There's that, etc. So I did not look really closely at the key to see. I just assumed, which is bad. I assumed that those little arrows mean you need to go this direction. Well, then I finally looked down here. What does that say? Steep slope. No joke. No joke. And I've got that video. You'll see just how bad it is. And as I look on this, because I didn't see it anywhere else, but just now as I was looking, there's some over here. I'm really glad I didn't go on that trail either. Yeah, it's bad. That was insane. I have not even hiked up stuff like that much. So anyway, I started off here. I came up, and then I went off and went down this trail. I went down here all the way till I came out, came down, and then I went on this orange part. I did not go on this one, and came down around here and around here. This is that part that was the dirt trail that I was talking about. It was so much fun. So much fun. This little bit had some of that too. This all is uphill, up until you probably get to about here, and then it's more of a gentle downhill until you get back to the parking lot area. Yeah, this way. I was going to go back this way. No, I was going to go back over here, and I realized once I got over there, I'm like, I don't want to go downhill on that, so I came back and got back on this little red part path. So if I went again, which I would like to, I will stay off of that timber road as much as possible. Coming down this part I was using my brakes a lot to get down, to get to this red wooded trail. But yeah, definitely would like to go back again. One other quick thing that I will insert in here, because I always forget, and then I saw my pattern so I could remember, is my Hade, what I worked on for my Hade. I didn't get as much done on that as I did last month, I believe, because the camping all that week, there was no way I was going to do it that week. Then I think once I came back, I had other things going on. Something was keeping me from getting to it. So I didn't. It was almost 2 weeks worth of time that I was not able to work on it. I got a decent amount done, but not as much as last time. And I don't have any idea how much stitching I end up doing. I think I counted last time, but I don't have a clue how much I did this time. So moving on from that, I have, besides my antique purchases, I have one other new acquisition. And it is a pattern, and it is these little guys. Oh my gosh, it's the squirrels. So as you can see, it says Autumn Acorn Gathering. Brenda Gervais is who did that with Thy Needle and Thread. They're so cute. So they're fall. So she's got her little pumpkin, and there is a crow or something, blackbird on her. And then you got him. He's got his fall tie. And then he's got, you know, the acorn in his hand. Cool. Cool stuff. They're so cute. So I'll have to get to that. I had shown you the material that I was going to use to make some new bags. And I did make those, and I have put them up on my Bags by Wendy Instagram site. So you'll have to go over there and look at those, because I did not bring them with me out here to show you. Kind of forgot about them. So go ahead and go look at those if you're interested. I think there's one bag that was sold that I can't duplicate. I can't make more of. But everything else I can, if I have sold it, I can make more. So check those out if you're interested. Now, I am going to make some more bags. I know I normally don't make them quite so close, but it's the season's coming, so I may even make more than what I'm going to show you this time too. So if you're interested in these, you can either let me know via these comments, DM me, or whatever, even before they're finished, if you're interested. So let's get those out. So the first one, I'm going to have to kind of unveil some of this fabric a little bit here. Here it is. Very fall, Halloweenish. In fact, you got the old maid with the pumpkin. They kind of all go mismatched ways, so it kind of depends how you would want it as to how it's going to show. Some of these, I'm trying to remember what I saw, if there was some funny sayings on these. Yeah, they do. They have some funny sayings on them, and I'm just not finding the one that I had read earlier. Oh, what is this? Miss Fat Quarter. There's one of them. Let me see if I can find the other one. They were just cute. Okay, here's another one. Miss Snap Out of It. These are great. These are great. So I will be making some bags out of this fabric. This is very much reminiscent. I think it's the same designer that made those. They were the big ones that had the sewing girl, different, kind of almost steampunk type of look to them, that also had Bible verses in them that I had made. They were very popular. I think this is the same author because it's got the same look to it. Okay, the next one, let me make sure it's right set up. Halloween gnomes. Aren't they cute? They're great. So if you're into gnomes and Halloween, that's a cute one. I love, 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 love this. Halloween sloths. Oh my gosh. Is that adorable or what? Halloween sloths. So I'll do that. And then for all you cat lovers, we've got cats with moon and trees. So those I'm also going to do. Now I had shown you these things that I'm going to start making, and I've been busy doing those other bags as well as some other orders that somebody had made. So I haven't gotten these on my site yet, but I've got a couple bits of fabric that I am going to use that will coordinate with Halloween to make some of these. This will be great. And I don't know, we'll see how much this shows up on the fabric or on the camera. So it is kind of shiny goldish. I'm not sure how much is going to show up, but this is very cool too. I had these two fabrics. I got these because I really liked them, but I couldn't find things like coordinating fabrics that I wanted to use the way I do with my bags. So I thought I could use them with making these, and I'm calling these bobbin files. I can do these with them and just use some, like this would almost be like a burnt orange kind of color, or black or gray, and then more like a black with that. I don't have to have quite as much detailed coordinating fabrics with these kind of things. So that is what I'm going to do. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for that, or just let me know and I will coordinate that with you. All right, I think I have one more thing and then I'm done. Last video, I mentioned that it was going to be kind of between that video and this one is about when my 3rd year anniversary would hit. Yay! Woo! You know, throw the confetti in there kind of thing. And I had said I was going to do some giveaways. So what I'm finding out, because I've had other times when I've done giveaways and I've had very few people comment that they're wanting any of these things, which it seems like they would be fine things that people would want, is either people don't really want them or they're not watching till the end of the video and they don't know that I'm giving these things away. So you gotta watch through the end of the video. I don't do a giveaway every time. I don't do every video, but every once in a while I do. So you gotta watch. I'm not gonna announce it at the beginning of the video because I don't want people to just skip to the end and say they want things, okay? So I had 3 things that I was going to do for prizes. One was a bag of your choice. The second thing was I had a whole bunch of different patterns that I was going to let somebody pick whatever they wanted. Okay, so they got to pick which one they wanted, as well as I would make one of these to go with it. And then the third prize was 20 DMC flosses of their choice, whatever colors they wanted. I had 2 people comment on wanting something. That's it, 2 people. So here are the winners. For the bag, Rachel, you won. Rachel Wright. Boy, that's a mouthful. She's going to get the bag. And for the pattern and this bobbin file will be Jodi, my friend Jodi. Yes, you will get this. And because there was only 2 people who said they wanted something, I'm going to take the DMC floss and divide it up into 2 bundles of 10. And you will each get to choose 10 flosses that you want. 10 DMC flosses. So you kind of get 2 prizes. I'm going to divide that third one up because nobody else. So here's the thing. The other option is, did somebody comment and I didn't see it? It's not showing up in my stuff, or they were prevented from commenting, or I don't know. I don't have any idea. So if you've watched this far and you're like, wow, I didn't know that. First of all, I didn't know that you had a giveaway last time. Or second of all, yeah, I entered, but you didn't say that, you know, I wasn't one of the 2 people that you say commented. Let me know. Whether that's go to Instagram and DM me and say, you know what, I had tried to comment and I'm not sure why you didn't get it. Whatever. Just let me know what's happening out there so that I know if there's more people trying to comment and I'm not getting it or not seeing it somehow. So yeah, let me know. But I will be in contact with those 2 people and find out what they want, and we will go from there. So yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully in the next video I will have my landscaping project that I worked on to show you, and I'm really excited about it. It's really cool. I've been wanting to do this for at least a couple years, and it's just been other projects have taken up my time, and I just finally said, you know what, I'm going to do with it. I'm going to do it this year. I'm just going to do it. It's how I am. Anyway, we are going to end our video here, hoping you have a great day, that you aren't blisteringly hot. Hopefully the southern hemisphere, for those people, maybe Australia or wherever, that your weather is going to start getting a little nicer now, because they're going to start getting into spring pretty soon. Yeah, hopefully you're getting outside and enjoying the weather. Soak up that nice outside air, because we need it. We need to be outside. We need to, you know, not only enjoy nature, but breathe that fresh air. Yeah. Okay, so I will see you again in a month.